He got other stuff going on, and so he don't really have time for you like you want him to have time for you. But then there's a dude that always makes times for you. The dude that always is willing to take you out and spend money on you. So if you're a woman that goes on dates and stuff, you've had those type of guys in your life, the kind of guy that you don't really like. Like they have a name for it now, a simp. So the guy you don't really like, when the dude you do like don't want to be bothered with you, but you still want to go out and have fun and stuff, you call that dude. That's basically what men are doing as well. So if somebody's cheating on you, they don't like you. I don't care what's going on, especially if they keep doing it multiple times and you keep finding out. This person don't like you. They don't care if you know. They don't care if you leave. They probably want you to leave, but you just ain't leaving. So then, like, if you get smart and you decide, now I am going to leave him, and you think, oh, he's begging me back, he's calling me, that's probably because the other person that he's cheating on you with probably ain't doing all the stuff that you were doing for him. So he's kind of like, I'm getting less with this person. I like this girl more, but I'm getting less with her. So now I want to have two women. I want to have the one I really like, and I'm bending over backwards trying to do stuff for her, to be with her. But I also got to have a girl in the back that's doing stuff for me, because this new girl ain't doing stuff for me. So like I said, it's a test. So just because he comes back or just because you let him get away with cheating, it don't mean you won. It means he's won. He's tested you and he realized, oh, she ain't got no self-respect, so I can get away with this.
Some women also assume that a man is only with a new partner because she no longer wants him. However, women typically choose to leave due to the man's inappropriate conduct. Women rarely leave when a man is doing right by her. When a man is continuously doing wrong by you, it is often because he wants you to break up with him. Men don't want to be the bad guys by leaving because they want to leave the door open to come back if things don't work out with the new person. And most of the time things do not work out with the new woman because the men are the same horrible person they always were. When things don't work out with the new women, the men usually come back, and the exes usually allow the men back into their lives. These men usually persist in their previous behaviors, including infidelity. It's a test.
Okay, this is another test. Like I said, like sometimes when women do break up with a man and then he goes on to be with the new woman, then you're like, oh, well, he just with you because I don't want him no more. But this is my thing. If you like a dude, most of the time when a woman likes a dude, she just don't up and leave him for no reason. Like I can't remember who said that, but there's an old saying like whoever likes the person the most usually loses in relationships. Like it's sad, but it's a true thing. So if you get in a relationship and one of you likes the other person more than they like you, then you've lost. Because they gonna try to see how far they could push you. So if a dude's already cheating on you and now you done left him and then you telling yourself in your mind, well, the only reason he's with this other person is because I no longer want him, you would be wrong. Because like I said, typically, if a woman leaves a man, it's because he's already being inappropriate. We usually don't leave men we like for no reason. It's usually they cheating or beating us or they doing something crazy that we just can't deal with. And the most of the time, and people, I know people are going to disagree with this, but I feel women and men are alike in a lot of ways. If I like somebody, I'm going to try to do what they want me to do to keep them. Now, because I'm not a pick me, I'm not going to go completely crazy and doing stuff that I feel is wrong to keep nobody. But I'm going to try to do my best to keep them in the parameters that is not messing with my self-respect. So if you're with a dude and he's constantly cheating, constantly doing things wrong after you constantly keep telling him to stop, that means he probably don't want to be with you. That means he probably actually wants you to leave. And like I said, men don't want to be the bad guys. They don't want to have to be the person to break up with somebody and hurt their feelings. They'd rather do something and then you break up with them. See, now if you break up with them, especially if you don't like actually catch him in the act, like if you see like text messages or something like that, or maybe somebody told you he did this, in a woman's mind, if she didn't catch him in the act, it's almost like he really didn't do it. So it's like she could break up with him and still in the back of her mind tell herself that, oh, we can get back together. This is just like a punishment. And he knows that. That's why he wants you to break up with him and he's not breaking up with you. Because if he breaks up with you, he's the bad guy now. But if you break up with him, he could come back and like, oh, I'm sorry. I never wanted you to leave me. But he really did want you to leave him. That's why he was doing stuff that you didn't like after you said you didn't like it. Just think about that. When your job tell you to do something, you going to lose your job. You change because you want to keep your job. These people don't care about keeping you. That's why they're doing what they want to do. So like I said, usually these dudes will move on and the stuff don't work out with the new woman, so they want to still keep you on the back burner. That's why they keep calling you, telling you all the stuff you like to hear so you can run back and tell your friends he still wants me. But then when stuff finally, the new girl realized he's a piece of shit like you realized he was, then he comes back to you. And when he comes back to you, nothing changes. So it's like if I done broke up with you for doing something, and now I've accepted you back into my life, and you've been calling me, talking about you sorry, you never wanted to break up. Now that you're back, why haven't you changed your behavior? Why are you still doing the same thing? Why are you continuing to cheat? Why are you continuing not to take the trash out? Why are you continuing not to buy me flowers and take me out on dates? Because he knows what you know deep down, that you are a fool, and he went back to his fool.
There is a common notion that a man will not leave but will resort to cheating. This is women once again lying to themselves because they want to believe that they will choose them over anyone else. But if a man cheats with a woman who values herself and demands commitment, he might choose to leave his current relationship for her. Men often engage in affairs with women who are aware of their existing relationships. However, if he respects the woman, he may mislead her by claiming to be single or going through a breakup. When a woman he respects seeks more commitment, men are sometimes willing to part ways with their current partners to fulfill those demands.
Okay, so like I was saying before, people always think that, oh, it's okay if he cheats as long as he comes home to me. But my thing is, somebody is trying to cheat, most of the time they don't like you. And they're looking at any chance they can get to leave and move on to somebody else. But like I said, most of the time if somebody's cheating, they're cheating with somebody that knows you because that makes it easier. If this person already know what I got going on, then they kind of with what I got going on and they ain't going to be out here telling stuff. And this is probably somebody I don't really want anyway. That's why I don't care if they know what I got going on. But if I meet somebody that I really want, you think I'm going to go tell them I have a girlfriend or boyfriend? No, because this is somebody I really want. So I'm going to lie about that. And if this is somebody that actually respects themselves and is asking you for more and wanting to see you at certain times of night and you live with somebody, people will end those relationships. Most of the time, people that are cheating are waiting for somebody better to come along anyway. So having the mindset that, oh, as long as he comes home to me, that's okay. He's coming home to you because that's where his stuff is. Not because he likes you. That's where all his things are. That's where he has to come. And you're probably cooking and cleaning for him. So he needs somebody to do that until he can get this other woman.
Men will frequently maintain contact with their pick-me exes because the new partner that has respect for herself won't do all the things she used to do or put up with his behavior. The new partner may not go to great lengths to keep the man content. Despite being cheated on, mistreated, or unsupported, many women allow men to return simply because the men did not initiate the breakup. Some men possess the ability to shift blame onto women for their mistakes and shortcomings. It's a test.
Now, please listen to that. They will shift blame onto you for their shortcomings. I think we call it gaslighting now. They'll do all this stuff to make you leave, but then when you leave, they'll act like it was your decision to leave and it's your fault. When you actually left for a reason. But see, that's how they gaslight you and trick you. Because deep down, you want to be with these people. Deep down, you want to believe they changed. But that may not always be the case. So like I said, this is a test. Because they already don't want you. And I know that's hard to hear. But if they doing all this, they don't want you and they don't care about what you think about them. Somebody that likes you cares about what you think about them. So now he's just testing you to see what he can get away with.
The majority of women tolerating such behavior are not married to these men, and the men have no intentions of marrying them due to the lack of respect. Most of the time, if they are married, these women are going 50-50 or contributing more financially and emotionally. Men remain in these relationships for their own benefit and not love.
See, in relationships like this, where somebody is mistreating you constantly, it's mostly because they're using you. Now, I could be wrong, but if you know somebody in a relationship like this, or if you are in a relationship like this, I want you to think about it. And thinking about when we're giving, whether it's financially, emotionally, or physically, who is giving more? You are this person that is constantly disrespecting you. Like I said, most of the time these women aren't married. There is no aspiration of marriage from the dude. You may keep bringing it up, but he keep like, oh, when this happened, when that happened. And most likely it's never going to happen. And most of the time these women are going 50-50 or contributing more.
A woman who respects herself and exudes confidence naturally commands respect from others. Self-respect involves setting boundaries, knowing one's worth, and not settling for less than one deserves. Confidence is attractive and signals to others that she values herself, which in turn encourages others to value her as well. That is why a man will constantly test you to measure just how much self-respect you have. This way, he knows exactly how much he can manipulate you.
Now, if you don't listen to nothing else I say on this, listen to this. Men will constantly test you to see how much respect you have for yourself. This is how they know how much they can manipulate you. Now, this is what I say about all relationships, whether you with a good person or a bad person. All relationships are transactional. So I always tell women, when you go into a relationship, you need to know what you want and what you expect to get out of this and what you are willing to give as well. So you don't ever give more than you're willing to give, and you don't ever take more than you're willing to take. If you go into a situation and you don't know what you want and you don't know what you are willing to give, then you end up just getting anything and taking anything. And somebody can tell you, oh, well, I never learned to love. Or, oh, the last girl didn't want that. Or, oh, my mama didn't do this. And it's like, you got to already know who you are, because I'm not your mama, I'm not your ex. This is me and this is what I want. And that has to be something you say from the very beginning of this relationship. This is what I'm willing to put up with, and this is what I'm not willing to put up with.
When a woman lacks self-respect and confidence, it significantly impacts how she is perceived and treated by others, including men. Without self-respect, she may struggle with low self-worth, making it difficult to set boundaries and assert her needs. This can lead to situations where she is taken advantage of or disrespected. Confidence is crucial for earning respect, and without it, a woman may find it hard to assert herself, leading to others not taking her seriously. Emotional dependency can also arise, where she relies heavily on others for validation, creating an imbalance in relationships and making it easier for men to disrespect her. Behavioral patterns such as being overly accommodating or avoiding confrontation can signal to men that she does not prioritize her own well-being. The paradox of
And that's another gem right there. Men or no one is going to take you seriously if you do not prioritize yourself. If people see you constantly going against self to make other people happy, nobody's going to take you seriously. Nobody's going to want to make a relationship or a life with you. People are just going to see you as somebody they could use.
testing, how compliance can lead to diminished respect in relationships. In the complex dynamics of dating and relationships, men and women often engage in subtle tests to evaluate each other's compatibility, character, and long-term potential. One intriguing and paradoxical aspect of these tests is when men persuade women to do things that, if complied with, diminish their value in the men's eyes. This behavior, while seemingly contradictory, serves as a measure for men to assess a woman's self-respect, significantly influencing how they perceive and categorize her.
Now, see, this is what I really want to talk about. Like, if you're dating a man for a couple of months, you already know you're jealous and you like stuff a certain way, then he'll come and be like, oh, you want to have a threesome? Or be like, oh, can you sign your name for me to get this car? Or, oh, can I move in your house but I ain't got no money to pay even half the bills? Like, they ask you stuff like this because they trying to gauge how much self-respect you got. And how much you actually care about yourself. And when you agree to do these things, you think it in your mind, oh, it's going to make him love me. He's going to care about me so much. He's going to want to make this relationship serious. He's going to want to marry me. And that does not make him want to do any of that. In most men's mind, just like if you sleep with them too soon, they think about, if she did this for me, who else she did this for? It makes you look like a person that can be easily used and easily manipulated.
The nature of testing in relationships. Testing in relationships is not a new concept. It often stems from a desire to understand the other person's boundaries, values, and level of self-respect. Men, consciously or unconsciously, may test women by persuading them to engage in behaviors that challenge their principles or self-worth. These tests can range from minor requests to more significant demands that push the boundaries of comfort and integrity.
So you really have to think about that when you get into relationships. That's why I say always know what you want and what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. Because that's why when I talk about, because I'm not against like age gap relationships, but I think for women, when you go into a relationship and you're much younger than a man, he could easily, especially if the financial difference has a huge gap too, like he got way more money than you. And he's older and smarter than you. So he can easily convince you to do things that you wouldn't normally do. Like, I don't think I could say that on here, but different intimate stuff that you may not have originally done. He'll talk you into that, or tell you like, oh, you're being a prude, or oh, you're being childish. This is what grown people do. Like, convince you of stuff because you're young and naive. And that's what men do all the time, because I think women make the mistake of thinking that men are dumb. And they're not. Most of the time, men are running circles around women because we think we're so much smarter than them and we think we know what they want. Now, granted, they do want to be intimate, but men want other things. Men are just as complex as women are.
The paradox of compliance. When a woman complies with such requests, the initial reaction might be one of satisfaction or validation for the man. However, this compliance can quickly lead to a loss of respect. The paradox lies in the fact that while the man initiated the request, seeing the woman comply can make him perceive her as lacking in self-respect or easily swayed. This perception can erode the foundation of respect that is crucial for a healthy relationship. Psychological underpinnings. Several psychological factors contribute to this paradox. Firstly, there is the concept of cognitive dissonance. When a man persuades a woman to do something that diminishes her value, he may experience internal conflict. To resolve this dissonance, he might rationalize that the woman must not value herself highly if she is willing to comply. This rationalization helps him align his actions with his beliefs, albeit at the cost of respect for the woman.
See, I think sometimes that we as people, we want to see people do things because we want to feel like we're over people. People have this thing where they want to have a sense of power over somebody. Like when people get a little power, they tend to misuse it. Like there's this movie, and I think it was based on a true story. I think it was like a Harvard study where they took these class of students. I think it was an all male class, and they put them in a jail. Half of the students were prisoners and half of them were COs. And the way these people started acting and treating each other when they had a little bit of power over each other was crazy. And it was just something fake. It wasn't even real. So imagine real situations where people get to have power over you, where people can make you do things that you don't want to do. And the mistake that a lot of people make is they think that only bad people do stuff like this. No, everybody does stuff like this. Now, the level that people do this is different, but everybody wants to feel like they have some kind of power over somebody, especially in relationships. You want to feel like somebody loves you enough, well, they'll do whatever for you. So sometimes men in particular will be like, oh, do this or do that. And it gives them a little bit of satisfaction knowing that you love them enough to do this. But then when they think about it, they be like, dang, she ain't got no kind of self-respect. She just do whatever. Like I said, it causes cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance. So of course you want somebody to do stuff for you because they love you. But nobody wants to date somebody who doesn't have a brain and common sense and just does whatever.
Secondly, there is the power dynamic at play. By persuading a woman to comply, a man may feel a temporary sense of control or dominance. However, true respect in a relationship is built on mutual admiration and equality.
Now listen to that. A man may feel a temporary sense of control or dominance. However, true respect in a relationship is built on mutual admiration and equality. When compliance is achieved through persuasion, it undermines this balance, leading to a loss of genuine respect. For somebody to respect you, they have to admire you. Who admires somebody who does whatever for people and get nothing in return? But that's a big part of this. When these people are testing you, you're not getting nothing in return because all you're thinking about is what can I do to impress him. You're not thinking about what he can do to impress me. So he basically gets off easy by not doing nothing and you're bending over backwards.
When compliance is achieved through persuasion, it undermines this balance, leading to a loss of genuine respect. The impact on relationships. The consequences of this dynamic can be detrimental to relationships. A woman who repeatedly complies with such tests may find herself feeling undervalued and disrespected. This can lead to a cycle of diminishing self-esteem and increasing resentment. For the man, the initial sense of validation can quickly turn into dissatisfaction and a lack of genuine connection.
See, this right here is how a pick-me is made. You enter a relationship. You like somebody so much, probably more than they like you. Or maybe y'all start off at a equal level of like. We both like each other a little bit. But maybe you're a more decent person that don't try to test people. But this man is testing you little by little to see what he can get you to do. And because you want him to like you as much as you like him. Because let's say we ain't talked about it yet. We're not even boyfriend and girlfriend yet. We're in a situationship. And you don't want to ask nothing too soon to kind of scare the man away, so you taking it slow. And he's slowly testing you. And instead of you trying to see if you like him and if he's compatible with you, you've jumped all the way to, oh, I want him to like me. So I'm trying to do everything he says do. And you don't even know if you like him. Like half the time when you get done with this and you start really looking at stuff, you're like, I don't even know if I even really liked him. But because I wanted him to like me so bad, I was doing whatever he asked me to do. And now he's disgusted with me and I'm disgusted with myself as well. Because I've done so much to try to get a man who never even did nothing for me. Like I said, these tests is how pick-me's are built.
Embracing authenticity and self-respect. To break this cycle, it is essential for both men and women to embrace authenticity and self-respect. Women should feel empowered to set boundaries and stand firm in their values, even in the face of persuasion. This not only fosters self-respect but also commands respect from others. Men, on the other hand, should recognize the importance of mutual respect and equality in relationships. Instead of testing boundaries through persuasion, they should seek to understand and appreciate their partner's values and principles. This approach fosters a deeper, more authentic connection based on mutual admiration and respect.
Yeah, that sounds nice. I mean, I know I wrote it, but I be trying to, stay mutual and tell both people what they need to do. But honestly, if you are a giver and you find yourself in a relationship with a taker, ain't no point of sitting around and hoping they gonna decide to treat you right and gonna recognize the importance of mutual respect. They don't care about that. They care about taking. And if they care about taking, you can still be a giver, but you need to watch who you're giving stuff to. You need to start asking them for something. My husband told me before, he says that I always ask him for stuff. So he was like, every time you ask me for something, I'm going to ask you for something. So he'd be like, oh, go get me a beer or go do this. And, it's funny and I laughed about it. But when you think about it, that is how you should act in relationships. Like, I don't care if you ask somebody to go get you a water out the refrigerator. If they keep asking you for stuff, make sure you start asking for something. Don't let yourself sit around and be used. Don't be the only one trying to prove your worth to somebody. I hear all these conversations now, men asking, oh, what do you bring to the table? And then there's some women trying to answer the question. Like, oh, wait a minute, hold up. I don't even know if I like you like that. What do you bring to the table? Like, stuff like that should be mutual conversations, not somebody just grilling you and asking you like you at a job interview. You are not at a job interview in a relationship. Relationships are supposed to be mutually beneficial.
The nature of the test. Initiating requests. Men might initiate requests or suggest actions that challenge a woman's boundaries or values. These requests can range from minor favors to more significant compromises. The underlying intention is to observe how the woman responds to these challenges.
Okay, so this is the nature of the test. Like I said, initiating request. And so I didn't go into what some of these requests may be, but like I said, threesomes, asking you to sign your name on stuff, asking to move in with you and not paying bills, asking you to pay bills for them. All this is stuff this is stuff that I feel like men aren't supposed to do because men are supposed to be providers. So when I feel like they start asking you stuff like this, if you think about the traditional gender roles, and like I said, if somebody likes you, they care how you view them. So if a man likes me and he wants me to like him back, why would he want me to view him as somebody that's broke and somebody that needs constant help? This, to me, is one of them red flags that show you, oh, he don't really like me because he don't care how I see him. Just like with a girl. Like, let's say a girl could be promiscuous. She could be all the bad things men think about women. But if she gets with a man she really likes, you think she gonna show that side of herself? Like, if she is showing that side of herself, showing that she's promiscuous, showing that she's a gold digger and all she wants is money, this is somebody that does not really like him because she does not care what he thinks about her.
Observing compliance. When a woman complies with these requests, especially those that go against her principles or comfort zone, it can lead to a loss of respect from the man. This reaction stems from the perception that the woman lacks self-respect and is willing to compromise her values for approval or acceptance.
Okay, observing compliance. When people realize that you are willing to compromise your values for approval or acceptance, be ready to be used. And this is what I talk about, stuff like plastic surgery and BBLs. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, but like, if you get it one time and you feel like you ain't getting enough attention yet, so you keep getting it over and over again when you know this is something life-threatening, that shows that you're willing to compromise your health for approval or acceptance. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with plastic surgery. There's nothing wrong with wearing wigs. I wear them. There's nothing wrong with wearing makeup. I wear it. There's nothing wrong with wanting to look good and wanting to be accepted by society. But if you go in overboard with it to where you're compromising your health and your values to appeal to somebody else, this where it starts looking to people like, oh, they don't have no self-respect. They don't care. Just as long as somebody paying attention to them, they gonna do whatever.
Assessing self-respect. The core of this test lies in assessing a woman's self-respect. Men often value women who maintain their boundaries and stand firm in their principles. Compliance with diminishing requests can signal a lack of self-respect, leading to a negative reassessment of the woman's character.
So there's a book out that is called Men Love Bitches. And that's true. Nobody likes a pushover. Nobody likes somebody that just does whatever. People like people with confidence, with morals, that have values, that are not willing just to bend over backwards and do what somebody wants them to do. They want people that stand up for themselves. Because there's something that people say all over YouTube and TikTok. Pick-me's rarely get picked. And that's true.
The paradox of compliance. Loss of respect. Despite being the initiators of these requests, men may lose respect for women who comply. This paradoxical reaction is rooted in the belief that self-respect and integrity are crucial qualities in a partner. When a woman compromises these qualities, it can lead to a reevaluation of her worth.
And see, I feel like the reason why that loss of respect occurs, because like I said, when people see you doing all this for them, they haven't done anything for you. Nobody wants to make this person their girlfriend or their wife. Because I'm thinking, okay, if she go to work and her boss be like, oh, if you sleep with me, I'm going to give you a raise, is she going to do it? Like, if somebody say on the street, if you do this, I'm going to give you $1 million. Like, is you going to do it? Like, do you have any self-respect, or you just going to do whatever people ask you to do because that's just who you are? And it starts making people think. Because I feel like it's the same way with the woman with the man. Like, if we going out here on a date and you staring at all the women, or every time your friends ask you to do something, whether it's stupid or not, you be like, oh, I'm going to do it. Remember when your parents asked you, if what's her name jumped off a bridge, you going to jump off a bridge too? That's what people think when you be doing stuff like this. Like, oh, she going to jump off the bridge if they ask her to. Or if somebody else doing it. She ain't got no common sense.
Power dynamics. This behavior also highlights the power dynamics in relationships. Men may unconsciously test women's boundaries to gauge their strength and independence. Compliance can be seen as a sign of weakness, while resistance can be viewed as a demonstration of strength and self-assurance. Categorization. Based on a woman's response to these tests, men may categorize her into different roles or potential future partners. Women who maintain their self-respect and boundaries are often seen as more suitable for long-term relationships, while those who comply may be viewed as less desirable for serious commitments.
Yeah, that's basically what I just said. It's like people don't want nobody who gonna do whatever because I gotta worry about like if I'm not with you, what you gonna be doing, like what you gonna be accepting, and it's gonna make me categorize you as somebody that I don't want to be with. Hey K, amen. You're always on my lives. Thank you for watching. Okay, so let's go on.
Importance of self-respect. Maintaining boundaries. For women, maintaining boundaries and self-respect is crucial in navigating these tests. It is essential to recognize and assert one's values and principles, even in the face of persuasive requests. This not only preserves self-respect but also fosters mutual respect in the relationship. Build.
You can't like nobody more than you like yourself. You can't like nobody more than you like yourself. Because people are going to always look out for themselves. So if they looking out for them and you looking out for them, who is looking out for you? Like, don't let no man keep testing you. And I think I think it was a video on TikTok I watched where this man asked this woman to go out to dinner or something, and then I think he asked her for like, no, it wasn't out to dinner. I think they might have been already dating, and he planned a vacation, but then he asked her for money to do something. I can't remember what it was. It was like a haircut or something. And she didn't have the money, so he canceled the whole vacation and just didn't take her. It's like, oh, that was a test. And I'm like, I'm not at school. I don't have time to be playing no games and taking tests with you. And I think anybody that's putting you through tests is somebody you don't want to be bothered with no way. Because we shouldn't be playing games. Everybody should just say what they want and what they need. And we should just do it like an adult. So I'm like, most of the time when people are doing these tests and they trying to act like, oh, this is some kind of moral thing and I'm trying to make sure you fit in my life, it's not that. It's trying to see how far I can push you and how far I can use you.
Building authentic connections. Authenticity and self-respect are foundational to building genuine and lasting connections. When both partners respect each other's boundaries and values, it creates a healthier and more balanced dynamic. Women who stand firm in their self-respect are more likely to attract partners who value and appreciate them for who they truly are.
And see, and this is why the book I was just talking about men love bitches, this is why you should be a bitch. Because women who are bitches and are assertive attract partners who value and appreciate them for who they are. Women who bend over backwards get men that want to use them. And that is a fact. Whether you believe it or not, that's a fact.
Empowerment, understanding and navigating these tests can be empowering for women. Recognizing the importance of self-respect and the impact of compliance on a man's perception can help women make informed decisions in their relationships. It encourages a shift from seeking approval to embracing one's true self.
So yeah, that's exactly why I did this video, because I wanted women to understand that men were putting them through tests and to learn how to navigate them. Because even if you are a woman that is willing to do whatever for a man to get him, I'm telling you, going about it this way, you're not going to get him. So if you're trying to get somebody, you need to play hard to get. Like that's what your grandma and your aunties used to tell you. That's still sound advice. Play hard to get. So there's another channel I watched called Whole Math. And it's basically a dude. He draws like little diagrams and stuff and tells women basically how the way they be thinking and calculating stuff basically be dumb and wrong. And for the most part, it do be. Because you going out your way and doing stuff that degrades you, thinking it's going to make somebody like you more, is crazy. Because think about it. The dudes that you didn't like, that came around giving you money, rubbing your feet, babysitting your kids, buying them stuff, did that ever make you like them more? I actually watched a video where this woman said, and she was talking about her current husband on a podcast. She was like, oh, my husband married me and I had 3 kids already and he didn't have no kids. And she called this man a simp for deciding to be with her and love her kids and treat her correctly. So she didn't even respect this man for doing all that, which is really sad. And I said this is why a lot of women end up with who they end up with, because when somebody treats you right and do you right, you don't respect them. So even though it's crazy, it really showed me something, that when you go out of your way for people, they don't respect it. So that's why you need to always worry about yourself first, because you be doing all this thinking you being a good person and they looking at you like a fool. Like, oh, if that was me, I wouldn't have did it.
Here are some examples of diminishing requests that men might make to test a woman's self-respect. Compromising personal values. Request: asking a woman to engage in activities that go against her personal or moral values, such as lying for him or participating in unethical behavior. Impact: compliance can signal a willingness to compromise core values for approval, leading to a loss of respect. Neglecting personal boundaries. Request: pressuring a woman to share personal information or engage in physical intimacy before she is comfortable. Impact: yielding to such pressure can indicate weak boundaries, which may be perceived as a lack of self-respect.
Okay, now I just did a video on struggle love, and I talked about being a ride or die. So with this first thing, compromising personal values, and they say that men will try to get you to lie for them. This is one of them things, like you riding in the car with him. He got something he ain't supposed to have. Y'all get pulled over. Now he wants you to be a ride or die. And we always romanticize that kind of struggle love of you going through all this stuff with somebody and they finally, 20 years later, decide to marry you and make you their wife. Because I watched a man on a podcast actually said this to his woman. He was like, I love you because you put up with all this, me getting other women pregnant, and that's why I want to be with you now, 20 years later. And I'm like, that ain't romantic. Like, actually, if I was her, actually hearing him say this to me would have been a wake-up call. I'm like, I am a damn fool. Okay, and then the second thing, neglecting personal boundaries. Pressuring a woman to share personal information or engage in physical intimacy before she is comfortable. Like I said, dudes, this is probably one of dudes' main go-tos, trying to get you to be physically intimate with them before you're ready. Trying to convince you that, oh, if we do it on the first night, I'm still going to call you later or talk to you later. I ain't going to lose respect for you. I've actually had people tell me this before. Did I do it? No. But there was one time when I was young, and I was like in my 20s, and an older 40-year-old dude was talking to me. He had money. He had a nice house. He had a boat. He had some nice cars. And, they talk you into stuff. And they lose respect for you, even if they say that they're not. And it didn't matter to him that I was younger or naive. All he saw was somebody that was willing to do whatever to be with him and to get his attention. And they don't respect it. And they don't look at it and be like, oh, was she young? Or, oh, she this, or, oh, she that. Or, oh, she didn't know. All they look at is like, oh, I won. I manipulated her, so I won.
Prioritizing his needs over hers. Request: frequently asking her to cancel her plans or neglect her responsibilities to accommodate his needs or desires. Impact: consistently putting his needs first can suggest that she values his approval more than her own priorities and well-being.
Now this is one too. Like they'll try to get you to oh, don't go to work today. Oh, don't do this today. Oh, don't worry about going to college. I got you. Telling you a bunch of stuff, and then later on you done depended on him, think, oh, he got me, oh, I ain't got to do this or do that, and then they pull the rug out from under you. I'm like, I thought you had me, and now they with some other girl and they got her.
Changing appearance or behavior. Request: suggesting that she change her appearance, such as losing weight, dressing differently, or altering her hairstyle to suit his preferences. Impact. Complying with such requests can imply that she is willing to change fundamental aspects of herself to gain his acceptance.
Now, I did see a thing with another girl on TikTok that said her boyfriend was always looking at Instagram models and stuff, like girls with bigger boobs or bigger butt, and he was like, well, he never told her. No, I think she did say he asked her to get a boob job, and she was like, right after she got it, he broke up with her for somebody else who didn't even have big boobs. So, like, I'm all for looking better and, looking good so you can have more choices out here in life about what kind of man you want to be with. But it needs to be for yourself. You don't need to do it solely for attention, like for health reasons, or you need to do it for that's what you want to do because you want to be healthy. Because if you're doing it for one specific man, you may, turn around and he leave you for somebody that don't even look nothing like that. Because, like I said, this is a test. These are all mind games to see how far he can push you. He saw that this woman was willing to go under the knife and risk her life just to look like what he wanted her to look like. And I don't think she even said what he looked like, because half of the time men that are trying to get you to change yourself and how you look, everything you do, and not go to school and to not do certain stuff, they don't have they stuff together at all. They look like they one sandwich away from being obese some of the times. And they be having like dead end jobs, but they want to keep you underneath them because they want to keep you in a position where you're going to always feel like you're beneath them and you need to push yourself to make them happy because you got to keep them. Like I said, this is how pick-me's are built.
Isolating from friends and family. Request. Encouraging her to spend less time with her friends and family, often under the guise of wanting to spend more time together. Impact. Agreeing to this can lead to isolation and dependency, which may be seen as a lack of independence and self-respect.
Yeah, this is and like I said, I'm not a psychologist, but I'm gonna say this: when people do stuff like this, is a narcissistic tendency. They want to get you away from anybody that has common sense that could tell you not to do certain things. So they need to get you alone, so the only person you're listening to is them.
Engaging in risky behavior. Request. Persuading her to engage in risky or illegal activities, such as excessive drinking, drug use, or reckless driving. Impact. Participating in such behavior can indicate a disregard for her own safety and well-being, diminishing her value in his eyes.
Now, see, most of the time when dudes do stuff like this, like what I'm talking about in this video, these be dudes that you have not really dated for a long time. And they start asking for stuff right out the back to see how far they can push you because they trying to gauge what I can get out her already because I don't like her like that. I don't like her like that, so I'm trying to see what I can get before I even continue to be bothered with her. So like this, engaging in risky behavior. So you get out here with a dude, you only known him maybe a week or two, or let's say even a month. He don't like you like that. He gets you to a party or a club, and he asking you to do illegal substances. I've had people ask me to do illegal stuff, and I'm like, I ain't never did nothing like that. I don't do stuff like that. And sometimes they get a little attitude, and to me, that's a red flag. If you get an attitude because I don't want to put something in my body, to me, that's crazy. Because I'm not telling you not to do it. Do whatever you want to do, but I'm not about to do it. Because there's been too many stories where a girl thinks she in love with a dude, and you done made up in your mind that he feels the same way about you. You done took an illegal substance, then passed out, and they've been assaulted. I watched one story where this football player at a college, a white dude, drugged his own girlfriend and let his teammates assault her. That's what I'm saying. People want to see what you're willing to do because they already don't like you. That's why they don't care what you think about them. That's why they keep trying to push you to do crazy stuff. And you be thinking, oh, if I do this, he's going to like me. And sometimes they may even say that. Oh, if you do this for me, I'm going to love you forever. I'll do this for you later. Nah. Same time. Same time. If I'm gonna do it, you gonna do it. We gonna do it at the same time. I'm not about to do it right now and you do it later, a month from now. No.
Financial exploitation. Request, asking her to lend money, pay for expenses, or make significant financial sacrifices for him. Impact. Complying with these requests can suggest that she is willing to compromise her financial stability for his benefit, which may lead to a loss of respect.
Now, see, this is one that a dude will be dating you maybe a tad bit longer than a month before he start asking for like real crazy stuff. Because he may start off like, oh, let me borrow $10. Let me borrow $20 till I get paid. Then all of a sudden, he wants you to sign your name to a car. All of a sudden, y'all going on vacations and he can't never pay his half. You paying for everything. All of a sudden, he needs you to pay for something for his kids or to pay his child support. Like, it just keeps getting crazier and crazier. And then all of a sudden, you realize, oh, now I'm in debt. Like, I know people that this has happened to that have signed for people to get stuff and then they stop paying the bills and now you stuck with the bill. Because they keep on asking and asking till they get all they could get. Because these are people who do not care what you think about them. Because that's what I'm saying. Let's go back to traditional gender roles. Back in the day, if a man liked a woman, he wanted her to know, oh, I could take care of you, or I could pay your bills, or I could be the man you need me to be. Because they would have to ask your father or your parents if they could marry you. And they know your dad is not about to let you marry no man who's not going to take care of you, that's going to be asking you to borrow money. So they wanted to impress you. These men nowadays don't want to impress women no more. Because half of them don't be liking the women they be talking to. They see a woman that's desperate. They see a woman that's online crying, talking about she need a man. They be like, you know what? I think I can be exactly the man you need. And that's why, because another person I listen to on YouTube, Tony Gaskins, always says, like, when you want to start dating a man, don't tell him what type of man you want. Just be like, yeah, I know when I see it. Because that's what people do. If I notice what you want, then, okay, I'm about to go and act like I'm this person so you can start to trust me so I can get what I want about you. I know you want a man with money. I'm about to go rent a car for a couple of weeks to make you think I got some money. Like, I think I talked about this on my last video about how this girl met this dude on Tinder and he done told her he got all this type of money and he got this car and stuff. And she just believed him without actually seeing anything. And, back in the day, I used to live in Atlanta, so I used to always go to the D Mall and get, like, all the little fake stuff. You get you a fake purse, a fake belt, fake shoes. You go order from Alibaba and get stuff straight from China that to the untrained eye, people can't tell if this real or fake. Then you can go out here and rent a car. So women will think, oh, he got all this type of money. Because I watched another video about a girl who met a dude at a club and he had a nice car and a nice apartment and he brought her back to the apartment. They did the do and then he never called her again and then she got all mad. And it's like, you can't get mad because you are not using common sense. Of course, I'm going to tell you whatever you want to hear to get what I want. And that's why I tell people you need to find out what they want and you need to know what you want. And what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. Because if not, people are going to manipulate you. Because you think people can come up with sob stories? You know how many people get scammed every year? There's this episode on Dr. Phil. This white lady got scammed by one of them African people that be like, oh, I'm a prince, but this happened to me and I need you to give me some money so I can get my money. And she thought she was really going to marry this man. And this man had took her for like $100,000. Or does anybody remember the Tinder swindler? That's probably still on Netflix. Look at how many women he conned out of money by pretending he had money that he didn't have. And you be thinking, oh, well, he's so amazing. He's rich. He's cute. So I'm going to do this for him. So later on, he could do this for me. Like I said, same time. Same time. I'm not doing this for you and you gonna give me my money back later, especially not no whole lot of money, maybe $5, $20, thousands of dollars, and you give it back to me later and I don't even know you. Because my first thing I would have said, if you got all this money and all these assets, the bank won't give you a loan. You got to get a loan from me and we just met. Don't think so.
When men do not respect women, they exploit them in various ways, often prioritizing their own needs and desires without considering the woman's feelings or well-being. This can manifest in manipulative behaviors, such as emotional manipulation, where a man might play on a woman's insecurities to control her actions. Additionally, men who lack respect engage in dishonest or deceitful practices, such as lying or cheating, knowing that the woman may tolerate such behavior due to low self-esteem or fear of confrontation.
Now, this is where I say they really get you. It's called nagging. So look it up, nagging. It's where a dude will see something that he knows is an insecurity of yours, and he's going to keep bringing it up. Or something that may not be an insecurity of yours, but he's going to keep bringing it up till it is an insecurity. That's where you get all this, ain't nobody going to want you. Look how big you is. Ain't nobody going to want you with all them kids. Ain't nobody going to want you because of this or because of that. Baby, if you wanted me, somebody else going to want me. And if not, oh well, I'll be alone. So don't let nobody use that kind of language on you, trying to tell you what you can and can't get. Like if you got them, you will get somebody else. And me, because of how I am, you start telling me what I can and can't get, I'm going to tell you what you can and can't get, because that don't work on me.
These men might also take advantage of the woman's resources, whether emotional, financial, or physical, without reciprocating or showing genuine care. Ultimately, the lack of respect leads to a dynamic where the woman is used rather than valued, creating an unhealthy and imbalanced relationship.
Now, I did another video called Never Let a Man Move In With You, because this is how they use your resources. So I was watching this thing on TikTok where several men were telling each other how to, if you ain't got nowhere to live or you ain't got no money, how to trick the woman you're dating, like by telling them you love them or something, to get them to let you move in. And then you move in and slowly con them out of stuff. It was this one man who was bald-headed, fat, and only had one leg, that had convinced a woman to buy him a car, convinced a woman to buy him a house. He had told the woman, oh, I'm going to buy the house, but this and that, so I need you to make the down payment. Like, it was crazy. It's like, I don't even know how anybody fell for this. And the man wasn't even good looking. So, I mean, I don't know how the woman looked. Maybe she looked worse. Like, I have no idea. But the fact that she fell for this, like, every time they went out to eat or something, he had an excuse. And it's like, I don't know if that just come from being desperate or thinking you can't do better. But you can do bad all by yourself. Like, so ain't no need to get with somebody that keep telling you, oh, I'll do this then, or I'll do this when this happens. Like, we ain't got that kind of time. Like I said, same time. Same time.
This is why you should never let a man spin the block. The more you tolerate, the less he respects you, especially if the relationship isn't balanced. If a man does something wrong, the consequences should be proportionate to his actions, and there should always be consequences. Always make sure you're getting more than you give. Your time, energy, and love are precious, and you should never compromise your morals or values just to keep a man around.
This. Always make sure you are getting more than you give. Always make sure you are getting more than you give. And like I said, if a man does something wrong, you need to make sure there are consequences. And it can't be consequences to you because you think like, oh, if I break up with him and he can't see me for a while, then that's an equal consequence. Maybe to you. Maybe to you, if you couldn't see him for a while, that seems like a punishment. But if he already cheating on you, then him not seeing you for a while is not a punishment, it's a gift. Because now I don't have you to answer to. So now I can cheat without even having to come up with lies. Because we ain't even together no more. I'm somewhere else, cheating freely. The punishment don't fit the crime. Tony Gaskins said this as well. You got to see what a man got the least of, and that's what you got to ask for. If he rich and got all the money in the world, you need to ask for time. If he broke and got all the time in the world, you need to ask for money. But giving a man a break from you that's already cheating is not a punishment. The punishment will be to break up with him and go find somebody better. But like I said, I know people be in love with people and y'all don't want to do that. So if you want to punish him for real, you got to find something he ain't got and ask him for it. You got to make him sacrifice for you, because that's what love really is. Love is sacrifice. So if a person isn't willing to sacrifice for you, they don't really love you. Because that's what this whole thing is about. Because they know you love them, they're trying to see how much you're going to sacrifice for them. And the Bible says a man is supposed to love his wife like Jesus loved the church. And Jesus died on the cross for the church. So if a man ain't giving you that type of sacrifice, and you're the one giving that type of sacrifice, you're in the wrong type of relationship.
Remember, you deserve respect and admiration. Stay true to yourself, uphold your standards, and don't settle for anything less than you deserve. Empower yourself by setting boundaries and demanding the respect you deserve. Your worth isn't determined by a man's opinion, but by your own self-respect and confidence.
Your worth is not determined by a man's opinion, but your own self-respect and confidence. Now, they're going to try to trick you, and they're going to make you think that their opinion matters. And they're going to try to make you think that all people think this way about you. But with me, I always say, I don't respect the opinion of people I don't respect. So if you started acting crazy and I've lost my respect for you because you're trying to manipulate me into doing things for you, then I don't respect your opinion. And I don't respect the opinion of anybody who thinks like you. The only opinion that I respect is my own. So if your opinion don't equal up to my opinion and you ain't on the same page as me, then I don't care what you got to say. And people may think that's wrong or that's selfish or whatever. So be it. Because if you want to survive in this world, you got to be a little selfish. Because other people are not thinking about you. People are thinking about themselves first. So you need to put yourself first as well.
In relationships, it's crucial to maintain a sense of balance and fairness. When you give too much without receiving the same in return, it creates an unhealthy dynamic. Stand firm in your beliefs and values, and don't be afraid to walk away from situations that don't serve your best interests. Your happiness and well-being should always come first. It's also important to surround yourself with people who uplift and support you. Seek out relationships that are built on mutual respect, trust, and admiration. These are the foundations of a healthy and fulfilling partnership. Don't let anyone make you feel less than you are. You are worthy of love, respect, and all the good things life has to offer.
In this day and age in relationships, you've got to learn to match energy. You can't be putting more in than the other person is putting in. If you see this person ain't saying nothing to you about what y'all is or where y'all going or what's going on in this relationship, then you need to start asking questions. And don't start moving forward thinking just because he coming over every night and got a toothbrush at your house, that mean y'all engaged now. If he ain't say that, then don't start thinking that. You need to make sure you are always on the same page as this person. If they give a little bit, you give a little bit. If they give a lot, you can give a lot. But don't be giving more than they are giving. Don't let people manipulate you in this way. Because the first thing a man gonna say after they hurt your feelings, and you gonna be like, I thought we was this. You gonna be like, I ain't tell you that. And he didn't tell you that. And see, and that's how you get manipulated, because then you'll be thinking, oh, well, he didn't tell me that, so I guess we just gonna go back to the way things were and be in this situationship. And no, you shouldn't go back to the way things are. You're like, oh, yeah, you're right, you didn't tell me that. But now that we talking about it, I don't think I want that type of relationship. So you either gonna do what I need you to do and be who I need you to be, or this is over. And you need to stand on business.
So, keep your head high, your standards higher, and never settle for anything less than you deserve. You are a queen, and you deserve to be treated like one. Embrace your power, love yourself fiercely, and let your confidence shine through. The right person will see your worth and cherish you for who you are. What do you think? Are you failing men's test? Let me know in the comments section. Stay bougie.
So are you? Are you failing men's test? Because it's basically a trick question. These tests they give you are basically trick questions. They're asking you to do stuff and you think in your mind, oh, if I do it, I'm going to get an A. And no, if you do it, you're actually going to get an F and he going to lose respect for you. So only do what you are comfortable with. Only do stuff that aligns with your morals and values, and don't do no more than that. I don't care what he say. I don't care what he promise you, because most of the time, they be lying. So thank you guys for watching, and if you look on the screen right now, this is my new web series. So if you look right now in my community tab on my YouTube page, this is the first episode of my new story, Hustle and Heartbreak. So it's going to be like a urban fiction soap opera, and I'm going to do episodes every day except for the weekend because I only make videos Monday through Friday. So we're going to have an episode every day. So I just did my first episode today. Please read it, share it, and I hope you guys like it. And